In this video, we will demonstrate how to integrate ServiceNow with Saner Platform. To integrate ServiceNow with Saner Platform, you must first configure sync between Saner Platform and ServiceNow. Log into the Saner Platform. Click the gear icon to access the control panel. Select the organization you want to work with. Click ServiceNow under the integration menu. The integration settings page appears on the right side. On this page, enter the ServiceNow domain name, the username, and password to authenticate to the domain. Click the Connect button. Once authenticated, all the accounts that are part of the selected organization are listed in the Accounts drop-down box. You can select the accounts that you want to be synced with ServiceNow. A CMDB, also known as Configuration Management Database, is a system used to store and manage information about an organization's IT assets and their interdependencies. During a CMDB sync between Saner CVEM and ServiceNow, configuration items discovered by Saner CVEM are automatically updated in ServiceNow's CMDB, ensuring it remains accurate and up-to-date. In the CMDB sync drop-down box, specify the schedule for CMDB sync. You can choose between daily, weekly, or monthly. You can choose the CMDB sync to occur once or recurring. If you choose the schedule as once, you must specify the time at which the CMDB sync should occur in the start time box. However, if you choose the CMDB sync as recurring, specify the time interval at which you want the CMDB sync to occur. In ServiceNow, a change request is a formal proposal within change management to modify an IT system, process, application, or infrastructure while minimizing disruption and risk. During a change request sync between ServiceNow and Saner CVEM, missing patches are automatically detected, triggering the creation, tracking, and syncing of change requests, with status updates exchanged between both systems for seamless approval and implementation. Specify a schedule for the change request sync. The available CMDB sync schedule options also apply to the change request sync schedule. In the Assign Group drop-down box, Saner Platform retrieves and lists all the groups from ServiceNow. Similarly, in the Assign User drop-down box, users who are part of the group in ServiceNow are listed. You can choose a specific group and also a user who belongs to that group to whom the change request should be assigned to in ServiceNow. This is an optional step. If you don't specify a group and a user here, the change requests are assigned to the user which you use to authenticate to the ServiceNow domain while setting up sync. Click the Save button to save the configuration sync changes. Saner Platform initiates the CMDB sync. Once the CMDB sync completes, the change request sync starts. Once both CMDB and change request sync completes, change requests is created in ServiceNow for every vulnerable asset found on the device that is part of the account specified during the sync. Log into ServiceNow. In the Application Navigator on the left, type Change to access all change requests. Click All to view all change requests in ServiceNow. When a missing patch is detected on any vulnerable asset, Saner CVEM automatically generates a change request in ServiceNow. Open a change request in ServiceNow. The change request is in new state. In the description box of the change request, you can find information about the asset, the patch type, if it is a security or non-security, the vendor of the asset, the total number of risks count, and the associated CVEs. The description box also displays the number of affected hosts, the host names of the affected devices, and the account to which those devices belong to. If you scroll further down, you can find remediation info, the name and size of the patch getting applied, the date and time on which Saner CVEM detected the vulnerability, and the date on which the vendor released the patch for the vulnerability. The description box also shows whether the device needs a reboot after the remediation. In the Affected CIs tab, you can select the hosts on which you want Saner CVEM to perform remediation. Click the checkbox next to the host and click Delete to remove the host. Check if the change request has an assignment group and is assigned to a user before you request approval. Click the Request Approval button. The change request moves to Assess State. The change request is waiting for approval. Scroll down to access the approvers list. Select the approver and provide the approval. The change request moves to Authorized State. Once the change request is in authorized state, it still requires one more level of approval. Scroll down to access the approvers list. Select the approver and provide the approval. The change request moves to scheduled state. Once the change request is in scheduled state, you must specify the start date and time in the plan start date input box. Click Update to save the changes. A remediation job is created in Saner CVEM with the remediation schedule set to the date and time you specified in the plan start date box after a successful change request sync. However, if you didn't specify a date and time in the plan start date box, a remediation job is created in Saner CVEM with remediation schedule as immediate after a successful change request sync. Click Implement to move the change request to implement state. Once the change request moves to the implement state, a remediation job is automatically created in Saner CVEM. In Saner Patch Management tool, you can view the remediation jobs created as per the schedule you specified in ServiceNow. Once the remediation job is successfully executed in Saner CVEM, the change request in ServiceNow is updated and automatically moves to closed state after a successful change request sync. You can find more details in the Closure Information section of the change request. Details such as the patch name, the installed version of the patch, and the overall status of the remediation job are displayed in the Close Notes box.